Welcome to Roll Initiative, Claw and Order, Special Cryptids Unit. I'm your Dungeon Master, Brian, and I'm doing weird pauses
Hi, Brian.
just to throw off everyone's timing.
Great.
And now I'm done. Mike, feel free to introduce yourself.
Oh, you went top to bottom. Okay, I did not
Yep.
realize that. Sorry.
Sorry, he thought you meant
hi,
whoever's
I'm
the
Mike.
top goes first.
Yeah, anybody who's a top, go first, and if you feel like you're a bottom, go last.
I figured out how it works. The ordering. It's the
Yeah, it's like if you're a big one's a bear, an otter's a skinny one, but they're small but hairy.
the last person to join is the one right below the host. That's
Okay.
why.
I'm like, what if I'm like short but hairless though?
You could be a twonk.
What the fuck is
What's
that?
a twonk? Mike, introduce yourself for the love of Christ.
I'm Mike. I said it, but I got talked over.
I'm sorry.
Somebody needed to talk about. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm Mike. That is odd.
That's all. Eric,
You got to spice it up more. It's just like, hey, this is Eric here. I'm your min-maxing munchkin who always rolls poorly. Coming at you, playing Norman, normal human. Spice.
You're a
Flavor.
munchkin.
you're not a munchkin.
You're a munchkin.
A min-maxing munchkin. That's what interwebs calls people who like their characters to work.
Oh,
All right. Well, you yourself are a rather larger individual, not a munchkin. Ryan,
Hi, I'm Ryan. I'm playing Lawrence Averline, and a twonk is a twink that is too old to be a twink anymore.
Initiative, join us on our quest. Roll initiative, you can do part of a long rest. Roll initiative, it looks like combat has begun. Roll initiative, now it's time to have some fun. Roll initiative.
all right. So to recap, last week we had oh god, it was so long ago now. You guys went on a tour. I was trying to remember the beginning of Gilligan's Island. What's the
What, were they
What's
all on the
your
boat
favorite
and everything's fine?
The theme song.
yeah, the theme song to Gilligan's Island. Well,
Sit
you
right
guys
back
went on.
Something
Wait.
into something and something.
Everybody, shut the fuck up! Mike was about to goddamn sing it.
I'm not gonna sing it, but I can say the words.
Say the words, you son of a bitch.
Sit right back and you hear a tale of a faithful trip. Yeah, that's it.
There it is.
3-hour tour.
3-hour
tour. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So similarly, you guys were supposed to be on like a 3-hour maybe
Tour.
all through all of the basic sites and investigation areas on the water for the local frogmen. And you met the Clark brothers, who had a boat ready for you guys, and you immediately set off after leaving Frank. And he was not much of a nature guy, so you guys left him behind, and he went back to town to work on his end of the investigation. And you guys went out with the Clark brothers, Jim and Tim. Jim being a kind of nervous, highly talkative, fidgety, tall, skinny guy, and Tim being a shorter, stouter man of less words, simple gentleman. Mikey decided to link brains and get a glimpse into Tim's mind, and inside Tim's mind was very similar to what's outside of Tim's mind. A lot of very short, quiet sentences. You guys went on your tour. First stop was a spot where a large, almost lake monster had been seen, and with a good nature check, you were able to see the general givings of a giant alligator or crocodile that was living in the lake. From there, they took you to another sighting area. The frogmen had been seen, essentially. It was one of the original sighting areas along the coastline. you guys had another good nature check there, and you were able to find kind of the pathway, the trail that the frogmen seem to have been using to go in and out of rivers and into the lake. A little bit further up, you guys investigated yet another area where unnatural animals had been seen in the area: large snakes, alligators, crocodiles, things that were not local Ohio at all. And there, you guys started to kind of run into a few problems, some boat mishaps. Some people almost fell in the water thanks to some lucky stealth check. We didn't see Mikey possibly flap his way back up onto the boat with his. And then at the last investigation spot, everything kind of went to shit. There was another bad nature check. We didn't quite see everything that was coming at us. And then all of a sudden, there was people in the water. There was alligators in the water, and there was even a giant alligator in the water. In classic Lake Placid movie fashion, the giant alligator destroyed the boat, putting everybody in the water, except for Mikey, who refused to go in the water, and instead flew above it, thus kind of alerting, well, that and some people casting spells kind of alerted the two brothers to the fact that you guys were not just regular agents. And at this point, they did not really give a fuck, because they were in the water with giant gators. After a herring battle in which the two brothers were saved and brought back to the lakeside, to the shore, and Mikey was.
I just want to point out who helped the most.
Lawrence did quite a bit of work in helping helping the brothers.
I did as well.
Now to be honest, you guys kind of split it. You did Misty step out and then have a really good athletics check to swim back with Jim.
And the silvery barbs changed the crit into a miss.
That saved Tim. And then in octopus form, Norman brought Tim back to land.
So you did 2/3 of the work. I still helped.
And then once on land, and assuming the defensive octopus form, you guys were able to defeat the alligator finally, the giant one. And Mikey, coming back to land, did gift his ripped up jacket after having been quite thoroughly by a giant croc and it having many a hole in it. He did give his jacket to Tim, and it's big on him. It basically looks regular on Mikey, is like a full-on duster on Tim. It's like down to his goddamn ankles. He looks like the Penguin essentially now.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are now at the bank of the river, all on dry land. About what happened here, well, that in the coat. But you guys are all at the last investigation essentially area of the trip of your 3-hour tour. It is right where the police officers had seen the frogmen, the ones that were now trying to recant their tale, the sheriff and the deputy. This is where they had seen the frogmen climb over the rail and then head back into the water. If anybody wants to give me a nature check or an investigation or even an arcana to see if you can pick up after the fight the trail that you were following through the water.
Roll a survival check.
I'll take a survival. I'll take a survival also.
I'm going to do with arcana because I'm the arcana dude.
I got a 25 on my survival check.
I got a 10.
It's a 16 for investigation.
All right, so we'll go with the 25 on survival. Norman, as you look in the water, you can kind of see the trail still. You guys were all kind of following a like magical trail essentially before that was almost kind of highlighted to you. Like through the water, you could see where like they were moving through, where magical beings and had moved through the water, and where almost like magic was flowing through the water. And now you can almost see where there is a current that flows upstream as opposed to all the other waters flowing slowly downstream into the lake. There's a current under the surface that flows upstream, and you can see it flow upstream a little bit further. And then where the river kind of goes around a bend, and there's almost like a not like a boggy area, but a little bit of like a larger area of the river that gets a little bit more shallow. and then kind of comes back in and out. You see the trail kind of goes off into that area and then disappears out of sight for you. So you do have an idea as to where they're coming and going from for further reference, and you know where you're at because you know you're at the last sighting site. So if you needed to come back here, you would know where you're coming back to. Essentially, it would be a very easy come back to and go to where you were at. You do have the Clark brothers, and you've got an injured Mikey. What would you guys like to do from here? Would you like to head back into town? You could essentially get back up on the road and follow the road back up into town and kind of hope to see somebody along the way that might hit you guys a ride into town. You're not super far from where you started because you guys did go out deeper into the lake and then come back in to the river. So even if you just had to walk, you're not all that. You're not so far that you guys could not make it back before before the end of the night.
Well, first things first, I believe I should step out of the water. Yeah. I would like to set up a campfire to dry my clothes off.
All right, that sounds acceptable.
Would anyone else like to dry
Not
off a little bit?
particular, but I am going to just turn to Mikey and just be like, "Hey," and that will be today's healing word for 6 hit points.
The Fonz heals Mikey.
Give me old bonds.
Well, that's all great and all, but I believe we should dry our clothes off by the fire. We take the Clarks back into town. Then
Give
we
me
come
a-
back.
Give me a survival check for starting a fire while wet without using obvious magic right in front of them again.
Oh, they already know.
Yeah, I
But,
guess.
but I have a tinderbox.
All right, you're fine then.
Yeah, but use magic.
No, I'll do I use up my tinderbox by using it, or
Does Tinderbox have one use?
I don't know.
I don't believe
It's a
so. I
single
believe
use
it's.
item, I think so.
I'm pretty sure it's like a.
It's a box of Tinder, my man.
It probably has a limit to it, but I think the game's assuming you're using so little of it that basically you could just have it in your pocket, and maybe you just find some at some point. You're just like, oh, I refill it with this stuff I found.
This container holds flint, fire, steel, and tinder.
Yeah, like flint and fire steel are not really going to run out in like any variety of timely fashion. You'll be all right. You know what? We're just going to make you do Tinder checks from now on. You'll just have to check Tinder to make sure that
Check that Tinder, bro.
I swipe
Yeah,
right
check your
on
Tinder,
that
bro.
idea. I swipe right on
Cool.
that.
Excellent. I don't know if that's good or bad.
I don't remember. It's been a
All
while.
right. What do I roll for this though?
Since you have a Tinder box, I'm not going to make you roll anything. Just swipe right, bro.
All right, I swipe. I strike right.
All right, so you take time to like assemble a little fire along the road there, along the bank there. The road is up above you guys. There's a guardrail.
I say we
Wait,
dry
guardrail?
off, then
Sorry,
No,
I'm gonna
no.
jump up over the guardrail and just like look around for stuff.
Give me an investigation check.
what are you looking for?
Nothing. Apparently, I rolled a 5. But I remember the story originally said someone jumped a guardrail, and I was like, wait, if we're right next to a guardrail, maybe we should like check around the guardrail and see if there's anything there.
It is indeed true that this is where the frogman had jumped over the guardrail and then went back into the water. With a 5, you're not really seeing a ton. You do know the story and that this area correlates well with the story. Does anybody else want to hop up there and do an investigation?
Yeah, I'm gonna
I'm
give it a
dr-
shot.
I'm drying my clothes by the fire. I'm gonna sit
Alright,
with Jim and Tim.
Jim and Tim are by the fire as well.
13.
With a 13, Mikey, as you come up over the guardrail, and I'd imagine you almost kind of like flap up there instead of jumping, and you just kind of like land gargoyle style on
Oh, no.
on the guardrail.
No question about him using magic.
Not anymore. Like you said, it's all the jig's up.
It's out there. You almost like land on the guardrail gargoyle style, and you look around, and as you're looking around, your arcane senses pick up on this goo slime, like that's like almost kind of like bioluminescent to you, it like as you look at it, like your ability to pick up on things that are like arcanely different than your standard stuff, almost like has it like detective mode in a video game style glow. So you notice this like slime on the guardrail that seems to like kind of like dried up and become like this like sticky dry like film on the guardrail, but still has like a slight amount of that magic residue to it. And you can see there's like a large amount of it on the guardrail where you would see someone maybe like sloped or slamped over the side of it. And with a 13, you also see like a couple splots of this dried substance on the road leading up to that. Somewhere in the middle of the road started secreting this kind of slimy substance of some variety that's now dried and climbed clumsily over the rail fell down to the ground and then disappeared into the water. That's kind of like the patterning of the slime.
All right, I'm gonna convey this to them.
Hey.
And hey, got something over here. Can somebody get like a sample container?
Oh yeah, I pull out a thing to collect samples with. I'm a responsible agent. I assume I have like a pair of gloves I can slap on and just like a little thing and some tweezers.
That sounds like something Norman would have.
Looks like we got some sort of trail here leading into the water. Glowy, sticky, standard weird stuff.
What is this? Room raiders? Sort of a black light in here. Whoa.
It is blue and glowy.
It's all cum. It's all cum.
Well, that's unsettling.
All right, don't get a sample anymore. That's fine.
It's too late. I already have the sample. The lab's gonna take a look at this and tell us that. Consider it a prank on the lab.
Guys, it's not frog cum. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Or I'm not
Consider it real
sorry.
science.
It's not frog cum. Everybody calm down.
We have a sample. We have these people that we should probably get out of harm's way. Should we go back and then try to make it back here and search around for the frogmen? Do we want to maybe wait and see if they come out at night more often?
I say we definitely get them back in town. I could use some spell slots. I would like to save my arcane recovery for something more pressing.
You guys see Jim over by the fire. He's just kind of like huddled over. He doesn't have a sweet new coat. He's just kind of wet, kind of trying to dry it off. He's like, yeah. If you guys could walk back to town with us, that'd be great. We are like really at a frog, like a frog hotspot right now, and I would really prefer not to run into like one of these like frog dudes when it's just me and Tim. I know he's got a sweet new coat, but we're not what you guys are. We're not the guns.
Yes. My metaphor is standing strong. I love it.
I mean, we are here to encounter them, but I guess we do got to get these guys back.
Yeah, we know where to go from here.
And some frogs are nocturnal, right?
Binaural.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there are. I mean, yeah.
Well, it's just a theory, but
Oh yeah.
if we're not seeing them running around during the day, maybe they come out at night.
The freaks come out at night. Freaks come out at night. So you guys gonna pack up camp and head back into town with the Clark brothers. You guys do know that like Frank Zapper is supposed to be meeting you back at like the Clark brothers launching area where their boats are at after a couple hours after your 3-hour tour. So you guys are probably gonna be a little bit late walking back, but you should
Can I roll to hitchhike?
We're in the woods.
You want to roll to hitchhike all 5 of you.
Well,
You know what?
Yeah.
Do it. Just roll. You know what? I'm just curious. Just roll. to see
Yeah.
what happens.
Roll.
Well-
Give me. Just roll a d20 luck check to see. All right. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a d20 luck check. Anything above a 10 gets you a car coming down the way. Anything above a 15 gets you 2 cars coming down the way. So it'll get you 2 chances.
Okay. Somebody blow up my dice for me.
Hachu.
One of Ryan's cats.
16.
runs up. All right. All right. 16. You're gonna get 2 shots at this. 2 different cars are gonna come by. They're both gonna be trucks, so they will both have the capacity for you guys. I need 2. Give me 1 persuasion check.
Oh, hang on. Let me at least talk to him first. Yeah.
No,
I'm gonna...
no. There's no talking. I just need you to give me your best hitchhiking thumb, maybe a little bit of leg possible, with a very seductive persuasion check.
With persuasion? Okay, fine.
Yep.
This is 12.
12 is not going to do it. Second truck. The first truck just goes on by, just sees a wet, hairy guy.
Can I do anything?
Would you rather do a performance?
I can't do performance.
How about a deception?
I'm not very good at deception either.
All right, your persuasion check might be your best one then.
It is definitely 13.
13. It's not going to do it. You guys are walking back.
All right, I
Okay.
wild shape into a squid and I swim this with my 60-foot swim speed through the water back.
You're just going to drag 4 people through the water back.
That's the plan.
You guys
walk.
can walk back. You'll be back. You guys will be back by like nighttime.
Norman is always on time for his shift. I wild shape into a squid and giant octopus and drag us through the water.
Is that big enough?
I don't know.
I walk.
I can see Lawrence putting like his hands in his pockets and just doing like that slow guy walk all by himself. Just kind of wet.
I'm doing the. No, I dried off the
Let's
fire.
get dry.
I dried off by the fire.
right,
No, I'm doing the Hulk TV show where every ending credits is him,
Just him walking into the distance.
and every time a car passes by, he sticks his thumb out, and nobody stops for him.
So he turns into
Nobody's
the Hulk and kills someone.
Dun, 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 dun. No, it's very sad piano music.
All right, via a combination of walking a lonely road and an octopus dragging everybody back through the water after they dried off.
Can I ask Jim and Tim not to go with him?
I mean,
I'm
yeah, you could
killing-
ask him. I don't think he's gonna kill him. He did help save them. one
I'm
time.
definitely not going in the water. I feel like that was established.
Yeah, I want to ask.
Yeah.
Hey, Jim,
Fine.
Tim, you
I'm
guys
leaving
wanna swim?
everyone behind and I'm swimming ahead so that I'm personally not late for the meeting and you can all just fucking get there when you get there. I'm an octopus. Deal with it.
I don't consent.
He doesn't consent to this octopus rape.
I just wanted to grab every one of my tentacles.
And then pull them into water.
Sounds like a bad anime.
Yeah, that's
Slap.
smart.
I am a
Slash
boat.
hentai.
I'm actually gonna flip open my book, and Winston, I'm gonna need
Oi.
you. Yeah, oi
Yeah.
to you too. There's a meeting I'm gonna be late to. I need you to be my stand-in representative.
You need me to fly ahead?
Yeah.
None of the word. And he's gone. He flaps back real quick. He's like, where am I going?
Where? Are we going to Frank Zapper's office?
You guys are supposed to be meeting back at the boatyard.
Oh, at the boatyard. All right. Yes.
Thank you,
The
voice in the sky. And he's gone. He somehow heard the narrator and he flies away. Something funny about asking you to ask me to tell me where we're going.
It's beautiful. That's the art.
That's the art. That's the art of podcast DMing. All right, so your book and a giant octopus gets back to the boatyard. I have the mental image of Norman like cresting the water. He like goes down real low, gets a bunch of speed, and like shoots out of the water near the dock as a giant octopus like tentacles flapping in the air, and like transformed really grotesquely back into a man, and
Painful.
lands on the top superhero style, like on one knee, and then like looks up, and like Frank Zapper's just kind of like leaning against his car, like up in the parking lot. He like had just watched you like octopus out of the water into a man, and was just like, yeah, okay, all right. Don't see that every day, but we did see it. Never gonna not see it again.
I mean, that's just how you get around in these parts.
It is not how everyone gets around.
Really? It just seems
Not
super
a-
convenient.
Not everyone. And then as you say that, like this like floating, flying, mildly ethereal book flapping into the picture, like, through the trees and into the clearing around like the boatyard.
See,
And just kind of like, oi, here for the meeting, mate. Frank just like closes his book that he was writing in, and just like is like, it's gonna be a weird couple days. And then you guys, and then congratulations, you guys got there first. You're still stuck waiting for the other 3 guys that are walking.
Can we teleconference through my book?
I would like to actually just sit there and talk to Winston without him being there and just get to know the other guy instead.
All right, so while you guys are still walking there'd be no teleconferencing. There's no fucking Zoom meetings. All right.
If you're gonna keep sending him to spy on
Hey,
me, you're spy him by talking to him instead of you.
Frank like walks down towards the dock in the boatyard where you and Winston are. And he's like, all right, you're a floating book, got it. Like writes down a few things. He just kind of like looks up at Winston and like jots down a few notes about him. Winston, not Ulysses, and then like looks over at you and he's like, all right, octopus guy, got it. Possible octopus, all right.
Oh, it's just
and
part
then-
of my religion.
Part of his religion, got it. So, how'd the boat tour go? I guess I feel like maybe not great considering you came back as an octopus and I haven't seen you. You're a book. You're a flying book.
Yeah, he's the book that hangs out with that the fuzzy guy.
Oh yeah, I'm a spell book, and I'm here to proxy. So what do you got to say, Bookman? Because you also have a book, and I'm a book. Frank looks over at the 2 of you guys, and he's like, all right, well, I guess the boat tour didn't go great. I do have hotel accommodations for you guys if you wanted to crash for the night. And then we do have the sheriff that we can go talk to if you guys still feel the need to talk to the sheriff, who has been recanting his story. And we still have I still have an interview lined up for you guys if you want with the kids of Mr. Holland, the first sighting of the Frogman. So it is really up to you guys what you would like to do. I am just here to help you guys out. If you'd like, I can take you guys to the hotel when I guess it's not just the couple of us. I will wait for the other guys, perhaps.
Yeah, I guess we could wait for them. So Winston, what's your deal? We haven't really actually. I don't even know your name. Bookman, Man Book. If he's Bookman, then I guess you're Man Book. Man Book.
Or you can call me Winston.
Ah.
And I'm a spirit focused into a spell casting focus. Lots of focus, mate. And kind of Lawrence's spiritual guide, if you will. His moral compass, you might say.
So were you it was Winston once a person, and like you're Winston's spirit in a book, or
It's honestly tough. It's honestly tough to tell you. I feel like I've got memories, but if I was a person, whatever curse put me in this book, I was meant not to remember who I was. And if I was never a person, I definitely have absorbed somebody's memories along the way. I
Ah,
believe.
I know what that's like.
Do you, mate? You know about? Wait. Oh, yep. Yeah. I have seen you be. Oh, wait. Never mind. You know octopus things, then?
I know a lot of things from a lot of times. What
You know
is
what?
being
You
a
know
person?
about this? You know anything about construction work, mate?
What's that?
Construction work. You know anything about construction work?
I know a lot about construction.
I bet you do, mate.
But can I ask you, because you're questionably a person, what is being a person?
I'm a fucking book, mate. I if I whenever I was a person, I don't quite remember being a person. So I mean, you're asking the wrong fucking book, mate. Running out of mates.
Yeah,
You bloke.
fair enough. I am a blokey mate, I suppose.
Yeah, you're awfully blokey. And then to save me from doing any more of Winston's voice, the rest of the gang rounds the corner up the road.
Winston, get back here.
Oi, mate. Was getting ready to lose it. Can't do the accent for too long. I've been watching too much Bluey with Cameron, so I'm just waiting for the turn into like a New Zealand accent.
It's the highest rated TV show in the universe, Bluey.
Are you sure you don't want to come work with us?
Had enough. I'm good. And Jim's like, I'm with Tim. Tim's right on this one. Really put it concisely. I'm good.
All right, because I just feel like we should just keep at least with us.
Why?
I enjoy his company.
Oh.
You guys have lost Tim. Okay.
I'm now
Yeah.
sad. There's a void in my heart, and it is rotundly shaped and makes grunting noises.
Raises his hands up.
That ain't no frogman.
Yeah, he says frogman. If you pull his string back.
There ain't no frogman.
Buy it now
Right.
on the merch store.
Frank looks over and he's like, that is weirder than the book. Weirder than the flying book. Not as weird as the guy who was an octopus and then turned into a man.
I don't know what you're talking about. Remember that boat?
I have no boat money. I'm Frank Zapper.
Oh, sorry. I thought they were saying that.
Hmm.
I rescind my statement.
You guys all climb into Frank's car. Frank takes you guys to the hotel and drops you off where you guys can now get a long rest. Informs that he'll be back in the morning to pick you up and take you wherever you want to go. If you want to go see the sheriff and talk to the sheriff about him and the deputy rescinding their stories, or if you want to go talk to the kids, if you want to do both, or if you would just want to have him take you back to that bend in the road so you can go up river towards the supposed lair of the frogmen. Who's doing fucking karate?
It's me.
Not doing things.
Stop doing karate.
Do we want to hang out at the? Do we all have the same hotel room or something?
You guys 3 separate hotel rooms because you're 3 adult grown men.
But it could be a logistics error. Yeah.
Are you trying to snuggle? I could turn into a snuggly critter.
Just
I'll do it.
Just a
I'll do
giant octopus, all like slimy. Like landed
Snuggliest of critters. I can last for 1 hour before I suffocate.
That's what he said.
Oh,
All right, Ryan's got a weird Lawrence, not Ryan, wink wink, has a weird thing where he wants a giant octopus to suffocate him.
That's not canon, but
Sit on me.
it's not canon either.
It's not canon anymore.
Talks about the beak a lot.
Talks about the beak a ton.
I am actually strongly anti-beak.
I thought the danger was what was. Never mind.
That was gonna go to a weird spot, and I liked it.
So
But you
anyway,
guys
I
can
won't
all-
be turning into an octopus for a while.
I'm not asking.
It just feels dirty now.
You want to turn it into like a giant river otter? Is that what? That's where we
No,
started.
snapping
that,
turtle,
Oh no,
alligator.
you're right. He
It's a
really is in the
really
danger.
like one with like moss all over it.
Just a mossy.
I was
gator.
just suggesting a get together for our characters, not a fucking I have to cuddle something.
Are you sure?
All right.
I mean, it
No,
still
yeah,
sounds like it. I mean, you're not really cleaning that up.
That's not a terrible idea. You guys do have 3 separate hotel rooms, but
We do need to rest.
you guys do have the ability to take a long rest now. But do you guys want to like meet up in one of the hotel rooms to like have a drink and like talk
Make
about
out?
the mission, the case at all?
I'm definitely sitting in the common area with a bottle of scotch.
And
The
your
smuggling
best-
can happen in the
dress the
common
best you
area for
can.
everyone to see.
Nope. Lawrence has just got a bottle of scotch loaded with wolfsbane because Wolfman.
Is it crested on top of it like it's garnish?
It's like it's a garnish, yeah.
I like that.
Does it hurt?
Like a sprig of rosemary.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt, but
Does it bane you?
it definitely gets me drunk because I can't get drunk normally, unlike real life.
Boom.
Thank you.
I don't think there's anything stopping demons from ingesting alcohol, so I'm pretty sure I'm fine.
You want some?
Yeah. Well, not with the thingy on it. The wolfsbane.
I'll actually pull out Winston and write into him saying, making a note that he doesn't drink wolfsbane, or doesn't want wolfsbane. Weird.
How's that weird? You're the only one who needs it.
This is like Lawrence's really like weird paranoid thing. He's like I have to get everybody a little bit of like try to slip them wolfsbane to see if they turn into they like freak out and react to it.
Oh,
Just to rule out people being werewolves.
Yeah,
You
I
just
didn't even pick up on that.
ruled yourself as a potential werewolf.
but the right amount just gets you drunk. Lawrence is definitely very drunk at this point, and he's just gonna ask Vinny, your Mikey. Mikey,
Hey,
do you like your dad?
Why do you ask?
I don't know. I think a lot of people hate their dads, and you gotta be kind of messed up to work in a place like this, right?
To work in a place like this?
Yeah.
Are you talking about my dad? Because he doesn't work in an organization.
No, but like, did your dad make you work for something like this? Not like forced you, but like,
What?
this is like two
Oh.
strangely opposite dudes that aren't very bad relationship with dad.
I'm just not understanding what you're asking me, actually. Me, myself, literally.
He has a bad relationship with his dad. I think he's trying to ask you like do you have a bad relationship with your dad? Do you also like are you the same as me? Whereas Mikey has a very good relationship with his dad. If you do not stop fucking doing goddamn karate, I'm gonna karate chop you.
Sorry. It's nervous
Stop
habit.
fucking moving goddamn around.
Yeah.
So Lawrence has a terrible relationship with his dad, and I think he's like his character is just trying to feel out. Do you also have a bad relationship with your dad? But you have a great relationship with your dad. You and your dad are like, hey, yo, what's up, Mikey? All right, let's hit the long rest then.
Okay.
I don't know. It's just, I guess you just felt like you're just trying to force the thing going. I don't know. I didn't know where to go with it. Oh, sorry.
It's fine.
Kind of collapsed.
Sometimes things don't work.
like half of I feel like half of my dads are generally liked and half of them are. I have a 50-50 split on dads.
Oh, I was actually kind
Half
of
of the cats I've absorbed are okay.
Can we actually have Norman walk in on this conversation?
So you guys are having an awkward conversation where nothing's totally landing.
And I'm just like standing there looking at random like picture frames and shit, and I'm just like, half my dads are decent, half of them are pretty terrible. Some of them are really good though. 50-50 is a split on how I feel about dads.
Norman.
Eh?
You like your dad?
Some of the times. You know, some of them were really great. Some of them not so much.
Yeah, you say sometimes dads are great, but like...
Yeah, I've had experiences where, you know, one time, you know, dad was super awesome, super supportive. One time he was an alcoholic drunk. For my first thoughts.
How is that possible? How many dads do you have?
How many dads does anyone have?
One?
Then, yeah, you know, one.
No, that doesn't make sense.
Sure it does. You just said so.
No, well, you said the opposite.
You're the opposite.
Opposite of what? You? Probably. Sounds like.
I mean, I don't have a lot of hair, so kinda.
It's okay. Okay. I realized tonight, I'm like starting it back out of the room, like holding a full glass and another bottle of liquor in the other hand, and just, I'm clearly in the wrong here to hate my dad. So
Wait, this is about that. Oh yeah, dads, right? Yeah. So you know, sometimes they're great and sometimes they're not. It's a 50-50 bargain bin on which one you're gonna get. Sometimes my dad was awesome and sometimes he wasn't.
I don't understand what's going on.
Also,
So,
I have like 30,000 dads or something. I don't know who's keeping track.
wait, 30,000?
I don't know. It's a ridiculous number to try to keep track of. Can't even remember how many years it spans.
How old are you?
I wonder that so often.
Let's say biblical terms.
Oh, I met that guy once. He was pretty cool.
ACBC.
Oh, that's my favorite band back in the year 3500 BC. That was one of my favorite bands, ACBC. They were really ahead of their time.
I have so many questions. None that I think can be answered tonight, though. So,
Well, I feel like you guys are reacting as if a lot of the things I'm saying are weird.
they are... Oh, I can't answer for the goat person, but they are pretty fucking weird to me.
I mean, what's weird to me is a little relative. I mean, I only have one dad, not that many, but he is Mephistopheles from A Circle of Hell itself.
Oh yeah, I was in a cult that worshipped him once.
Oh, I'll let him know sometime.
Yeah, you know, real fun time, real wild time.
Hang on, if I say his name, Mephistopheles. I say it 3 times. And try to suck him in the mirror.
Different every time. Every time you say it, it gets more slurred.
I'm trying to summon him in a mirror.
Gadishim Mysticophel.
Mephistopheles. I start saying it in
Mistophels.
That's not how you summon a greater demon. Mikey's sitting there like, man, if I could just do that, I'd do that all the time. All right. Well, Lawrence backs out of the room with his glass and his bottle and his wolfsbane, and you guys adjourn for the evening. Take your long rest. You guys can do your get all your stuff back you would from a regular long rest. Roll your
it's not rolling. It's just
no rolling. You just get it all back. Yep.
You get your hit die back if you had rolled them on a short rest.
Let's see.
Brill slurts, clear spheres. racial features. It's time for the interlude. It's time for the interlude. It's me and no one else. It's me for the interlude. I'm your dude. Here we go. It's time for the interlude. It's time for the interlude. It's just me and you. I'm your dude. It's time for the interlude. Hope you're having a good time. Hope everybody's enjoying the song. Everybody, let's get along. Time for the interlude. Time for the interlude. Everybody look at me, 'cause I'm in the nude, and it's time for the interlude. Not to be real lewd, but it's time for the interlude. I'm in the nude, it's the interlude. Not to be super lewd, I'm your dude. Interlude, time for the interlude. Interlude, interlude, time for the interlude.
Golf clap.
Thank you for the golf clap.
All right.
And now we're
My
back
la-
from the interlude. And now we're back from the interlude.
Hit me. Yeah.
Just wait till you listen back to it, Bri. You're gonna enjoy the interlude song.
Nice. That was fun. All right. So you guys have long rested. Yeah. You guys have had an odd moment of non-bonding. Just mild interrogation. It is up to you guys what you'd like to do now. You can go and talk to the sheriff and the deputy. You can go and talk to the kids of the original sighting. You can go back to the spot that the boat got destroyed at and continue your trail following from there. I will say mechanically that talking to the sheriff and the kids separately, both those will assist or hinder in the final battle, but it's not to like some kind of extent that you actually have to do either of them. So it's really up to you guys how you continue.
All right, so back on the trail of the frogs.
So we want to say F the side quest. Let's kill the frog. I mean,
What side quest?
non-lethally assist them in not being seen.
I say side quest.
What's the side quest? What do you mean? Like,
Either the sheriff, talking to the sheriff and the deputy, and separately talking to the kids of the original sighting.
The sheriff that's recanted his statement. And
Yep, the sheriff who's recanted his statement, along with the deputy who also is recanting their statement, and then the two kids of the guy who originally did the sighting, or had the sighting many years ago.
I am tempted to use the phrase post-cant.
Post-canting.
Because once you recant it, then you can post-cant it, and then it's been canted again. I think.
Maybe.
I can't even.
you can't or you recant?
I can't post-cant.
You
I
can't?
don't. I can't. I can't. I can't that I post-cant.
Can't you?
I can't even.
All right, my beautiful dungeon babies. What do you want to do?
I mean,
I'm
if we
really
could
down
get
for
more-
whatever. I
We can
kind
get
of
more information from the. I mean, the kids are going to be easier because they're fucking kids. So we could get information.
They're not like children. They're like young adult. They're like in their 20s. It was their dad. It was their dad who saw it around about 20 years ago. He's no longer with us.
Oh.
But they essentially have like old clippings and information about his original sighting.
I want to do that.
I'm fine with talking to the kids. I also am interested in the sheriff, though. But I'm also torn between going back to just kill the frogs.
I mean, we're gonna do that eventually anyway.
Yeah, I'm just thinking this might help us because we might know more about them when we. Because we don't know dick. We just know frogs, magic.
I'm very confident in our ability to track them. Just going in raw dogging it blind style. I believe we could find them.
I think True.
But I'm
True.
also down to clown because it's fun.
All right.
I like
kids.
that I like that it's about like years ago. It's not about a setting. I mean, a sighting now. It's about a sighting like that happened a while ago. I kind of like that idea.
You like that it feels like a real cryptid quest. I feel
Well,
like.
it might give us like some deeper information than just ooh we saw it. It's more like ooh
We've been
it's from
tracking
back in the day. And there's a legend of might get some lore.
Do we have to take 2 of them alive for that fucking guy keeping the cryptid zoo?
It's definitely
don't-
something to consider. He'll be very appreciative if you give him 2. His menagerie, Jackson.
It's not the highest on the priority list, but it's on it.
It-
Is it an
it's not-
official order or just like a?
Well,
No,
right,
no,
the
no,
best-
no. Under no circumstances is it an official order that you have to bring back 2 like it's Noah's Ark.
No,
Jackson's just himself is like
Does it brown nose me for more employee of the month points?
What is the actual order?
the actual order is to handle the problem. If they need to be killed, kill them. If they can be brought back, bring them back.
Killing him sounds easier.
yeah,
Al-
but
al-
they
almo-
could have killed you.
almost
and-
always. But like you're not gonna get a new coffee boy if you just keep murdering all the cryptids you meet. You already cut off the arms of the chupacabra, so he's gonna have a poor time carrying more than 4 coffees.
That one's on me. I was very assertive at being an octopus with a flaming sword, and it was just so exciting as a concept for me that I couldn't contain myself.
So like maybe if you save 2 of the frogmen, they could become like the mailroom guys.
If they're in the menagerie, can they also work there?
Well, yeah. I mean, like
Well,
like-
I think the way he said it was the menagerie was like
the jail essentially.
yeah, it's essentially that's the ones that we can bring back alive, but they can't be reasoned with. Like some of them don't even have like a conscious like a brain the way that we do. Like you can't talk to them. They don't understand language. They just have to be held in a cage. And that's
Oh, so what you're saying is I just got to level up a couple more times and cast Awaken on them so we can talk to them.
Sure, that exactly. The whole
Th-
point
that-
is
that
if
is
we can
100%
rehab them, that would be great. Because
Oh my-
you're the same thing as them. It's
Whoa,
just-
hey.
What? Well, so am I. Hey, whoa, look at me.
Wow.
Let's fucking go. I gotta go for the face.
Yeah, you guys are both freaks as far as I'm concerned.
Whoa, hey.
Hey,
down.
whoa.
Calm
You
down
gotta
there,
go for
Daddy.
everything.
I'm human like at least 28 days of the month.
It seems
Make
like
a
an
time appropriate joke right now.
seems like an aggressive aggressive percentage this early into the campaign, considering how much time you spent as an octopus.
85.
85 sounds better.
Probably at least 70% human.
So my percentage is higher.
Whatever. It's not a race.
It was when you were winning.
Yeah, now it's not because I'm losing. I don't see the problem here.
All right, so nobody's winning the race.
Everyone loses that race.
Everyone loses the race.
I
Yes.
just don't care enough
What
about
are
either.
we rolling? What are we rolling?
Everybody roll a d20. Whoever gets the highest picks what we do.
19.
Oh my god, this is so hard to beat. I got a 2.
Yeah.
All right, Mikey wins for the 19. So we're going to see the kids.
We're going to talk to
First.
the 20-year-old people.
Because we can do both. It's just, which one
Yeah.
are we doing first?
This is what are we doing first?
Exactly.
Yeah. We could do all the side quests, guys. It's just which one do you do
But
first?
first, we're going to go see the 20-year-old human beings.
The 20-something-year-old human beings who probably don't have daddy issues, but you can ask them.
No.
And they're consenting.
But they do have a daddy issue. Theirs is dead and saw a frog. Ooh.
And saw a frog. Could you imagine if that was just the story? You guys showed up. It was like, yeah, he saw a frog once.
Changed his life forever.
Changed his life. Totally looked at life differently after that. All right, so you guys get a ride. You guys get picked up by Frank again. He's going to chauffeur you guys around town. And on the way in, he basically gives you guys like a heads up. He's like, like, listen, I'm taking you guys to go see Anne and Roy. They're the Holland kids. Their dad Robert was the one who saw the original frog. You know, like what was it, 20 something years ago. His was the original sighting. The one where he had seen like three of them on the side of the road, and they seemed to have like as he passed them, they were in like a formation, and they had like wands or some stuff like that. They'll be able to tell you more about it. But he passed away a few years ago. He got sick later in life. It seemed like he never really shook the sighting after he'd seen them and told people about it. But we are here. We are. So you guys, they're just in the house there. I called ahead. They should have some of the stuff set up. So you guys get out of Frank's car, and you look at this like it's a small rancher, not a very large house, just the one story, very modest, not some kind of like large famous monster sighting person's house of any variety. Looks like they have a very modest way of life. Some might call it poor, but not necessarily. They're not like living in slums, or it's not like everything's torn down. It's just everything's very plain and not very expensive. It seems
They're rich in character.
Rich in character, rich in family, poor in belongings.
So in the way that matters.
Poor in all the things that matter. So you guys walk up. They know you're coming. Open the door for you, let you in, and they take you into like directly, like as you walk in the front door, you're basically like in a living room where they have like on a large table, like sprawled out a bunch of like newspaper clippings, pictures, drawings, like pencil renderings and stuff like that, and then a few other items that you guys can't quite yet identify, some stuff in boxes and such the like. Roy introduces himself first. His sister's kind of like quietly like standing behind him with her arms kind of like pensively crossed, kind of like looking down at the ground, not quite looking up at any of you guys. But Roy introduces himself, and he's like, hey, how you guys doing? I'm Roy. This is my sister Anne. Thank you guys for coming by. I guess not many people take all this stuff with my dad very seriously. It's nice when people generally want to know or actually put any kind of like credence in his sighting. So we don't mind like talking about it and keeping dad's legacy alive.
Yeah, we want to know what your dad saw. 'Cause we hear a lot of crazy things about these frogs, glowing things, crazy wildlife. What did he take it from the top?
So dad was he was driving home from work. Dad was never like a drinker, or he wasn't into anything like that really. He was just it was later at night, and he was driving home, and he was using kind of a back road on the way home. And as he's driving down the street, and it's like adjacent to the waterways, the road is. It's not directly on the water, but pretty close to it. And he's driving down the street, he sees like these like three figures like huddled over in the road. And he like at first is concerned because he's like, what are these people doing out late at night? And then as he's pulling up, he's kind of sees them like almost kind of like moving in like formation, almost like he described it almost like a religious like swaying or like dancing kind of like they were all like moving together in some kind of like symbolic dance almost, but not like ritualistic. It is kind of the way he described it sometimes. And then he pulls out like some drawings that his dad has. It's like three frogs like standing upright, and they all have like almost kind of like robes on. and they have like these really long, skinny legs and these big, like stout, like fatter bodies with these robes kind of hanging off of them, and these like round, bulbous, like little heads. And they're all just kind of in like a triangle pattern. And then there's like a picture of them all like standing up, and then them kind of crouching down with their arms out, and then them standing up with their arms above their head, kind of in like a triangle pattern. Essentially, they just kept doing this crouch and stand thing, and this is when Pops was like, you know, this is weird. This is not like regular people. And as he got closer, he obviously saw them, and he made these drawings of them. But that wasn't the weirdest part. It was as he got like closer, and as his lights got on them, they all turned these wands, almost like. And we've asked him a ton of times, like, you sure it wasn't sticks? And he swears up and down they were wands. And the reason he said they were wands because as he was driving by, they pointed the wands at him, and then like these sparks shot out of the wands. And he didn't stick around really to see too much of what had happened. He just sped off, and they like almost like he said they like turned and kind of like pursued him for a little bit, like just like a few steps, still shooting sparks at his car. He like looked at the outside of his car, and it had like almost like scorched metal, like scorched like hot like metal added to it, like almost like he described it like my dad like worked in a lot of auto shops along his life. He described it almost as like welding splatter on like the outside of his car. And he went back there the next day during the daytime, and they weren't there. But he did find this, and he pulls out a box, and in that box, it's like a long like shoebox basically. And he opens it up, and you guys see in this box is about a foot long black metal rod.
Wait, he has one, or is that a drawing?
No, it's an actual rod. He found this like off the side of the road in these bushes, and he picked it up. And nothing ever really, he could never get it to shoot sparks. We would come home sometimes, and he'd be out way back. Way back in the backyard, we have like a little kind of like a shooting area range that he would use like to like zone in his aim in his guns for hunting. And he'd be out there with that rod just trying to shoot sparks.
Huh. Can I borrow that wand for just a minute?
Yeah, I would just say be careful with it.
I'll take the box also. I'll carry it in the boxes.
And then you see like Anne in the back gets a little nervous and kind of uncomfortable. And Dad died from cancer, and we never really knew what gave it to him, but he did spend a lot of time with that rod, so we just don't know. We don't know.
Just keep them distracted while I go behind this tree and figure out what this rod is.
You're inside the house right now. You're gonna take the wand outside.
Outside, yes.
And go behind a tree.
Yes.
While Norm distracts them.
Yes.
Even though they've told you that you could hold the wand. All right, that's fine. Give me a
I attempt to do whatever celebrities are popular during this time period, impersonation.
Cast for my free ritual cast to make it 6 seconds instead of an hour. Identify on this stick.
All right, so I would like Norman to do a performance check for your distraction.
All right, so that's my impersonation of, whatever celebrity's popular during this time period.
It seems like, again, such a super weird thing to do while they were just telling you their dad's
Yeah, you
story.
could have just done it in the room with them.
But a 19's fine.
Look, he asked for a distraction, and I'm a team player.
All right.
Hey, as far as I know, Norman's gonna fucking eat them.
You've distracted.
As far as you don't know, Norman's gonna eat.
Yeah, you don't know that. You don't know Norman ate the sheriff.
All right, then fine. The fuck?
Yeah, you just didn't
all
want him
right.
to see you cast the magic. Yeah, okay.
So yeah. So you don't want him to see you cast the magic. Makes sense to me. Norman, good distraction. Lawrence, give me a stealth check with advantage for sneaking out.
Oh boy, that's not what I'm good at.
Well,
That's a
then you
20.
should be stealthy. Well,
Now you
bam,
are.
now you are. You're good at stealth. So you slip out. Norman and Mikey are still in there. Mikey is like tentatively asking questions because he is generally interested. And while he's doing that, you slip out and you cast identify.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Winston do it for me.
All right, so Winston comes out and all right. What you got here, mate? Is this some kind of? It's definitely magic. I can tell you that. 1 second. Why don't you just like put it inside the book real quick? And he like opens up and lays like out flat on his back. He's like, just put it right there in me belly. You do it.
Yeah, I do it.
All right. He like closes the page. He's like, ooh, yes, this is very magic. Ooh. And he does a bunch of weird like vibrating and humming. He's like, I'm identifying. I'm identifying.
I've asked you not to do that, please.
Quiet while I identify. Ding. Not a magic wand, really. More like a magic item, a rod. This is a rod of pure black ignet, and it is been charged with a spell. It seems that this one is charged with a counter spell.
Oh, interesting. Why would it have counterspell? I'm familiar with the counterspell.
Well, all I can do is identify it, man. Now we're like slipping into my New Zealand Bluey accent. All I can do is identify it, mate. And just like I'll tell you what, it's got a small amount of counterspell charges in it.
Mm.
I can't tell you exactly how many, but it's not many. But it appears that somebody has charged this magical rod with the counterspell.
All right, I'm gonna walk back into the house, give it back to them, and just say that, yes, I believe you should probably hold on to this. In the direst moments, you probably might need it.
That's very useful.
I know,
But also it's yeah, no, just they could have it for right now.
Well, that is evidence.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys are gonna treat this, you guys treat Dad's case like it's a real case, then like, I wouldn't mind if you needed to hold on to the rod for a little while. I would like it returned to my family at some point. It is an heirloom, but like my sister said, we are mildly nervous about it because Dad did get very sick later in life. He claimed to have seen the frog guys a couple other times. Felt like he was reaching at a certain point. He never really it became like kind of his like pastime, his obsession, like these frog guys. After he saw them for the first time, he would spend some of his weekends out on the water, kind of looking for them. And he claimed to have seen them here and there, but he definitely like his quality of life declined sharply near the end there, and it did very much like the doctor said they felt like it was cancer. They didn't know what kind of cancer it was, though. They couldn't quite find a tumor on him, but he showed all the signs, other signs. He just got very, very sick very quickly.
Can I roll Arcana to see if this stick was the cause?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
18.
Oh, 18. I also got an 18.
Double 18s.
I'm gonna get a 13 sleight of hand to try to put it in my pocket.
Well, they're willing to give it to you. Like, if you guys are going to take it as evidence for a case, because they believe you to be officers of some variety or agents of some variety, they're willing to give you the rod as long as it's like returned to them at some point. Especially if you guys are going to test the rod and like make sure it's not like radioactive. I mean, I don't want it back if it's like radioactive, but like if it's safe for us to have again, it was one of the things that we remember my dad by. But again, if it's not safe, we don't need it. You guys can tell through your 18 Arcana checks that this rod is just a rod with a spell in it. Doesn't seem like it didn't have like a spell of sickness or anything like that. It seems like it just has this counter spell, with however many charges are still in it of the counter spell. It doesn't seem like it had any kind of sickness spell or anything like that
Yeah,
on
it's
it.
not a rod of cause cancer.
And you guys have seen like magic exist in this world, without it making like, regular people sick per se. You haven't seen like concentrated magic around like humans for like a long time like this was, but you've never heard of magic just making people sick. Like you've heard of spells that make people sick, but not just magic itself making people sick. So he got sick somehow. Maybe it was magic, but it wasn't this wand or this rod. And you guys do know that he claims to have seen more frogmen later in his life, and even one in the backyard. Give me some investigation checks as you guys kind of root through the evidence on the table there for anything else that might be useful.
I got a 5.
I got a 25.
20.
All right. Again, Norman, since he did his celebrity impersonation, distraction has been just off his game. He's trying to shake the celebrity. He's like, wait, did I absorb that guy or not?
Norman, give us some 1980s impersonations.
You're gonna have to tell me who these people are because I don't really know time periods like you do.
Yeah. I believe he said I do an impersonation of a time relevant celebrity.
Yeah, I didn't say I have the burden of finding out who those are.
Do a Clint Eastwood.
I don't remember what he sounds like. I just know he doesn't open his mouth a lot when he talks.
Perfect.
I can
That's
hear
exactly
your
what
mouth.
it sounds like.
I can hear how closed your mouth was there. It was fantastic.
I hate it so much.
No,
It was so
perfect.
Me and Mike loved it.
Was it actually like on a scale of 1 to 10? Realistically, how was it? Because I don't remember what he sounds.
I want
like.
to give like an 8.7.
Yeah, I was
Three?
thinking 7. I think a 7.
I don't trust Ryan because he's mad that I'm too good at it.
7.5.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it more than that rating. I'll tell you that much.
You sound like Elizabeth Warren.
Probably.
Oh, someone else who didn't open their mouth. They talk. Are rifling through things, and you see another drawing, and Mikey, you're holding this drawing and looking at it, and it's a picture of a backyard and like a shed out there, and just a lone frogman drawing, kind of standing in the backyard, staring directly at the house with what looks like a rod in his hand pointed towards the house. Lawrence, with your 25, you walk up and see the picture, and you kind of like turn Mikey around, and Mikey holds the picture up, and you guys look out the back window from where you're standing, and it is from that perspective. The picture's drawn from looking out that back window. He saw a frogman, apparently this drawing out back, with its wand pointed at the house, and it's dated down in the corner about 5 years ago. And you ask the kids when their dad got sick, and they tell you about 5 years ago.
Oh, like that.
Sounds like a frogman.
Give him cancer.
Give me cancer.
Go down, frogman.
Frogs flew in the water. Making our
Cancer spells. Spells give you cancer. That is actually creepy though, but imagining that. I imagine it was in the fall.
It's like dark, so he has it like shaded like very dark around the outsides, and there's just kind of like the light coming off the house and the light coming off the shed in the backyard way in the back that like kind of illuminate like this frogman's eyes and the rod.
No, don't do that.
What?
Don't cast magic in public.
You literally
No.
ran out the front door.
I know.
You ran outside to cast magic elsewhere. You're just gonna make the macabre frogman picture dance.
Their dead father's image is just gonna start moving.
No, I won't. Oh, but I should.
No, you shan't.
No.
So you guys have the despite Lawrence's best intentions of giving it back, you guys do have the rod of counterspell now.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna hold on to that.
It has an unnamed amount of charges in it. As a matter of fact, Ewick, if you're gonna hold on to it, roll me a d4.
One charge it is. No, it's 4 charges.
Excellent. So it has. You guys now have a rod of counterspell with 4 charges in it.
You should give that to me.
You can
You
cast
just said you-
counterspell. You said it yourself.
You can cast counterspell. You don't need a rod of counterspell.
Now I can also counter it. So if someone counters your counter, I can then counter that.
Noise. Yeah, that does make more sense.
And
It's
then
beautiful.
if there's any other questions you guys have for the kids, or if there's any other of this evidence you guys want to take, any of the drawings or the notes of his encounter, they would just like it returned at some point.
No, I wrote down anything I needed to.
Oh, actually, Mikey should probably take it. I just realized I can't cast counterspell when I'm wild shaped.
Okay. All right.
Mikey now has the rod of counterspell with 4 charges in it.
Because if I'm wild shaped, I can't really do that. It would just be,
Mm-hmm.
mostly missed opportunity.
You could probably literally just put like in one of those little like side boxes in your character sheet, like it just says like counterspell and put 4 under it. But I digress. That's crunchy numbers. Crunchy character sheet stuff. Ooh, crunch. I think you guys are gonna head to the sheriff's after this,
Yeah.
unless you want to go right for the frogs. But
Nah.
Ryan was interested in the sheriff's. I'm thinking what we'll do is it is about midnight. Do you guys want to do the sheriff's, or do you guys want to do the sheriff's next week? All right.
Yeah.
And my board here is getting kind of close to dying, anyways. God knows when it's going to turn off. So
We're
I
all
feel like this
dying.
is a good stopping spot. But I hope you like the kids there. I hope it was the bit of.
Bugs are actually up to something. They actually.
I actually like was while I was just I don't know why, but while I was describing like you like the image of you like holding the picture and like Lawrence kind of like turning you around like so you can see the perspective of the picture out the back window, and like I was like creeping myself out of stage, like the idea of like holding it up and like seeing like the picture of the frog, and I was like I was about 5 seconds from being like,
And then you put the picture down and the frog guy standing there pointing
Yeah.
around at you.
about 5 seconds from doing it, and I was like, the minute I do it, Eric's gonna shoot out the fucking window and chase a frog guy down.
You know it. No, I'm definitely chasing that frog down.
The minute I say there's a frog guy out there, I can't do any, like as soon as
Magic stone. I start throwing through the window with
as soon as
point
I
accuracy.
do like some element of horror to it, and Eric's like, not scared. I turn into an octopus and launch myself through the window.
I am the monster in this horror movie, and I just launch myself at it.
You forgot this is my horror movie.
I'm in the title card. Flailing Octopus 3.
I'm like,
This would be my last outing.
oh shit! The frogman disappears in a cloud of smoke.
Flames through it. A sword made of fire goes through its chest,
I turn
being
into a
held by an
cloud.
octopus.
I should have done that actually. You fall. You're like out the back after like hopping through the window and like breaking a part of their breaking their window. You're an octopus with a sword, and like they're just like, wait, what? And the frog guy just disappears, and these people who have no money whatsoever now just have a broken like back wall and an octopus in their backyard.
And I have to kill them for seeing me.
You have to kill them for seeing it. Because you can't buy out the entire town.
I can only buy out 2 people that needed the boat.
And you can't even really buy the boat. You can just assure that your company will make a report that they can file with their insurance. So the insurance can buy them a new boat.
Oh, I filed a false insurance claim as a fake, as a real dead insurance agent.
Oh yeah, no, that's right. I remember that. Yep,
They're getting that boat.
they're getting that boat. Well, yeah. Next week will be definitely more combat heavy. So bring your combat boots for next week.
Oh, I'm gonna
because-
wear them and only them.
Yeah, I mean, once you guys are through with the sheriff,